In the heart of Southern's campus, a garden grows. Maintained by a network of student volunteers, she hosts a wide range of plant life. From leafy greens to bright flowers, the Southern Community Garden is a labor of love and dedication. The garden hosts an array of insects as diverse as her flora. These bugs consume and propagate these plants in a stunning display of symbiosis. As they crawl across the leaves or carry pollen from one flower to another, they remind us that nature is always around, under our feet, in the air, and above our heads. On campus, it can be difficult to keep this in mind. The patches of grass and isolated trees appear dwarfed by the broad buildings and vast swathes of sidewalk. The inevitable influence of humans can make present ecosystems feel small. You are never very far from a busy road or street corner, and the city skyline of New Haven looms large in the distance. But if you take the time to stop by the garden, you'll be reminded how nature can manifest in the places where it's least expected. You'll see a shining example of how a community can coalesce around a project. You might even run into Dr. Mariah Kelly.
We have a huge impact, and I think we have to think about the impact over time as well, as development patterns have changed here along the Eastern Corridor. That has forced different types of wildlife to either adapt to those land use changes or to move to new places. And so certainly even now and over the last 100 or so years, wildlife have continued to kind of find the places where they can flourish while humans find themselves ever more present in their area.
This campus garden is student run. Our staff helps oversee it and guide people and make sure that students have what they need. We have students who are in charge of it. Over time, we've improved the garden's capacity to help the ecosystem, so to help biodiversity by planting native plants, so not ornamentals that are from a different area that animals wouldn't recognize as food. We plant plants that our local fauna would recognize and say, hey, we eat that, come on over. And then in the future, what I'd like to do is call attention to that a little bit more, either through programs or through some interpretive signage. We've started adding some of that. But having this be a multi-purpose space for the community to learn formally or informally about how nature works and how that connects to our health.
I think the most important thing is to try to get outside every day and ground yourself in what is the natural world. There's something really meditative, no matter where the environment is, about being truly outdoors and just connecting with the natural environment. So I think the best way to kind of work on one's environmental identity and to kind of grow interest is to start to participate in it as much as possible. So definitely take at least 5 to 10 minutes a day and just walk outside and acknowledge that there's a beautiful natural world around us that everybody gets to share and is absolutely beautiful.
Take a systems approach. So we know that by planting plants that are native to the area, then the insects will be attracted to the plants, including pollinators, and then bird species will eat the berries on the plants that are outside the vegetable garden, but they'll also eat the insects. So it's a good habitat for all of the community of wildlife that could live here. The produce that's grown in the garden, so the crops that are inside the fence primarily, are fruits and veggies of all kinds, and all of it is donated to a local soup kitchen. It's not just a supply of food that makes a community food secure, it's the nutrition of the food, and by and large, soup kitchens and emergency pantries are very short on fresh produce, so we try to provide as much as we can for the community. So my dream would be if much more of this hillside was an outdoor learning space and a space that the community sought out to spend time and enjoy and connect with nature. There's amazing birding right here. There's a pond through that thicket of invasive vines and trees. I've seen a fox sunning itself right on the road over there. I was involved in a monitoring project to see if there was a bobcat nearby, and we ended up by accident trapping a skunk, and I got to free the skunk, which was interesting, but that was down back there. There's so much right in front of us that we just don't really see all of the time, and what I would hope for our community, as much for their own health, would be that we spend some more time outdoors looking at what's around us, whether it's big or small, making sure that we take care of the nature and ourselves.